Curb Your Enthusiasm is wrapping up its final season. 12 seasons, bro.
So there's supposed to be 12 of
There's
those?
7 here. This is when DVDs kind of like, they
Died
stopped
off.
at 7,
Yeah.
and honestly, the show was kind of done there. And they took years off. And then Larry just like, Larry has so much pull in Hollywood that he's just like, I'm pretty sure they just had a revolving door. They said, whenever you want to come back and do it.
You know, that's what the Greeks used to do.
Of course.
They used to, when they would do a play, they would get everybody like mildly drunk, right? So like everyone would be watching this play, and then the actors, they would just channel, and then they would become like a channeled version of a specific god or whatever, a character, and then that's how they would act. But they'll just be turned.
And a lot of people saying like specific role. That's why you got to be careful taking specific roles. One being the Joker.
I was just thinking.
Yeah, of course. This right here, which I have on set. These are my original box sets. The Chappelle Show, the show itself, and the box set separate. Like all of what this show was is history making, is groundbreaking. People are still trying to copy the fucking swag of this show today.
Hey yo, it's Black Zeus, the podcast season 5. Welcome to the show where we talk about life, talk about the come up, and sometimes we fight. But in the end, it ain't a thing, cause we ain't trying to be right. We just old new niggas with another podcast. This is season 5, episode 9. Shut the fuck up, I say that every week cause I'm fine. I don't give a fuck what you think, nigga, I will say mine. And I will say it right now. It's time. It all rhymed, there you go. I'm not a rapper, nigga, I'm a comedian. But I'm trying.
This is Black Zeus, the podcast season 5.
Welcome back, beautiful people, to another episode of Black Zeus, the podcast. This is season 5, episode 9. Damn, I feel fine. And yes, it all rhymes. Ooh, la dee da. My niggas and niggas. I hope you guys have had a good week. Welcome back. Thank you for being here. You feeling beautiful? You are the beautiful people of this podcast. Only if you subscribe. If you're not subscribed, I appreciate your views, but you're looking kind of ugly right now. You could hit the subscribe. You could leave a comment. You could do the like stuff. I'm not going to beg you from here on out. Maybe one more time at the end of the show. But we're not beggars over here, nigga, because we got talent and patience, so we will figure it out. Salutes to the almost 500 subscribers right now. We are on the come up, baby. And just in case you are new to the channel and you don't know yet, my comedy special is available right now. You can get it on Patreon, or you can buy it on my shop for $10. Or once we get to 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, we will release it for free right here on the channel. Also, Dante and I have been working really hard on the show, which will release very soon. I'm very excited to show you guys that because, again, this is a comedy channel. I'm a comedian, not just a podcaster, so it's time we actually start showing off a little more of that shit. But yeah, let's also promote some shows. It doesn't matter about promoting this show specifically, but I will because why not? Tonight is Chop Cheese Comedy. We're recording this, so we'll hear about it next week. But I have been promoting it all month on the show. Jesse Singh, myself, Jam Easy will also be on the show. The first of many, hopefully, monthly comedy shows in Toronto, inside the Greenhouse Bodega on College Street. Tickets are available. Why am I promoting the fucking show, nigga? The show's over by the time you hear this. And hopefully it was a success. The tickets have been moving, so I'm happy about that. We are tackling like real, quote unquote, we're trying to talk about real shit and do comedy on that. Which doesn't mean we won't do dick and fart jokes, but, you know, it's a more heavy subject matter. We stick to a topic, and this month's topic is religion, so we got a bunch of jokes. I've been writing, like not too heavily because I already have some religious material. Plus, this is gonna be something that involves audience participation. So I'm very excited about that. We're not gonna do it in a cornball way. And I'm still going up there with the intent of doing my jokes, but I have a whole vision, you know what I mean? And I'm very excited to start executing on that shit with my brother Jesse on a monthly basis at the Greenhouse Bodega. If you weren't there this month, try and be there next month. If there is a next month, I don't know. If you're looking at the world landscape right now, looks kind of worry. You know what I mean? Looks kind of worry. And I know I said I'd promote shows, but I stopped. I have shows lined up. I have a 420 show in Barrie. I'll say that, with different nights. Yeah, this nigga's not even on the show yet. I don't know what. I'm talking to nobody as of right now. Bitch ass nigga. Yeah, other than that, I mean, let's just get into it, baby. You know what we do. We're a little occult here on the podcast, but we got a producer. He's not here right now, but we got to summon a nigga. We got to summon Dante into the room so that we can continue with the show. He's the #1 producer in the game. He's so good that he's here on a podcast with a comedian that's been performing for 13 years that nobody knows and is stuck in the Canadian comedy scene. What a nightmare. But he's better than that. So am I. That's why we teamed up. And hopefully we can climb out of this fucking Canadian show business pit together. Dante's in the studio.
Big 3? Nah, it's just big me.
You're off the show, bro. How you living, Mr. Braid Up?
Blessed and highly favored.
Mr. Braid Up. This guy got, oh man, I feel like shit about my hair right now. I got to get it all cleaned up. I got it tucked in my sweater. How you living, bro? Everything's good?
Everything's good, man.
What you been up to?
What have I been up to? Just working.
All right.
You know?
That's as much as you want to reveal.
No, I mean, that's usually what I'm doing.
Just working.
Just working. Ooh, I've been playing Shifu.
Oh, you're a nerd, nigga.
Yo.
Wait, yo. You know what I envy about you is that you just embrace it.
I mean, why not?
Why not? Because I'm ashamed. I told you last week, bro. I grew up in a different,
you're
we're only a
closeted
few years,
nerd.
yeah, we're only a few years apart, but like the generation that I grew up in, just that nerd shit was not accepted yet. So I was just off in the fucking distance. Like, it's funny though, because in the 90s, everybody watched wrestling, you know, but now that's nerd shit. Yeah. But in the days of Stone Cold and The Rock, that was not nerd shit. That was like the coolest shit.
That was like watching hockey or something.
But now, like we're in Canada, so hockey's popular.
Yo.
But in the States, I don't think it's like.
You don't think hockey is popular in the States?
Compared to the other sports, it's easily the least popular of the sports. 100%.
Why do they have all the NHL teams?
What does that even fucking mean? Because it's still a popular sport, but of the sports, it's the least popular. You're telling me it's more popular than NFL?
Probably not.
Thank you. NBA?
Probably not.
MLB?
Probably not.
Thank you. That's the fucking sports.
Soccer,
Yeah, but that's not an American fucking thing.
Neither is hockey or basketball, but look what happened there.
All right.
Got him.
All right. You know what though? I bet you football was actually invented somewhere else too, and they just ate that shit. Probably.
It was in Europe because soccer, rugby, football, they all come from one sport that they play in Italy.
Yeah.
And it's actually crazy because I watched this like documentary on it, and it's basically like MMA.
Yeah.
But it's mixed with like rugby and soccer, and it's played with like 30v30. And you just like, you can fight. There's no rules. Like you like wrap your hands up and you like fight in like this pit, and you're trying to like, get the ball in the thing, and that's where all these sports come from.
I would make a wager that UFC is as popular, if not more popular now than the NHL.
Ooh, worldwide?
Like definitely worldwide. You don't think so? Worldwide? Nobody outside of Canada and America gives a fuck
Then why
about
do we
hockey.
compete against Russia?
Okay, my bad. I forgot about I forgot about Eurozone over there. Shit. I forgot about the Eastern Bloc. Fuck. Nobody outside. Yo, oh man. You're gonna play that one back in the future, I can tell. Nobody outside of America gives a fuck about. What about Russia? Damn. Shut down immediately.
Let's get into some comedy.
Let's get into some comedy. I'm just saying. I hope you have like a stockpile of water and shit at home and you got your prayers up or something, because I don't know, it feels like some shit's going down. Alhamdulillah. Oh, also, this is what I wanted to say before we get away from the sports thing. I don't know 100%, but apparently baseball is an Egyptian, like ancient Egyptian invention, like game, yeah. And apparently, you know, going down that esoteric rabbit hole, it was actually created to explain the death process.
Oh yeah, we were talking about
A long time ago.
It was
We
like
talked
the
about this
ISIS
a long
theory
time
or
ago.
Something.
It's,
Funny enough.
it's a what?
Wasn't it like the ISIS theory?
Oh yeah, something called the ISIS theory, something like this. But that's all right. That's crazy. But yeah,
This is a comedy podcast.
like this researcher, she I don't know, in the midst of writing this paper, she discovered that baseball was an ancient Kemetic, which is just ancient Egypt.
No, it's comedic.
But I'm for the layman, bro, for the people watching this comedy
Yeah, so
podcast
you
who are
gonna
like,
teach
"Where's the
them
comedy?"
You gonna teach them wrong?
How the fuck did we get to ancient Egypt from hockey? I have
Already?
no idea. God damn. We did 1 week where we're talking about all his mind, and all of a sudden this podcast is no longer about comedy. Fucking it up. No, let's do,
9, you
yeah,
already know.
let's do a little bit of a catch up though. Like you've been. Oh, let's talk about this because we were both in Toronto for sporting events
Yo.
this past week. Very different events.
Yes.
Me more of a nerd.
Yeah.
I think live sports is still nerdy in a sense. It's like it's the macho nerd, but all that shit's nerdy, bro. If you're
Is Macho Nerd just a jock?
it is.
Mm.
Damn, you keep fucking catching me today. I should be smoking weed right now, but I'm going sober on this episode. So I went to live wrestling. Dun dun dun. Nerd nigga. I went to AEW on Wednesday.
Yeah.
And then randomly I found out that you were down the street at the real arena.
Yeah.
Watching a real sport,
Yeah.
quote unquote. You were watching the
not
Raptors.
scripted.
You were watching Let's Go Raptors. Dun, 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 dun. They lost like a motherfucker last 2 games.
Last 9 games.
Oh, 9?
We're on a
Oh, I
9
really
game-
haven't been paying attention this season.
We're on a 9-game losing streak.
I've been trying to. Oh, yo, I paid no attention. Like, wow, I didn't even really start to realize just how little attention I paid to sports this season. Probably a good thing in my mind, for me personally.
Yeah. But you'll watch wrestling.
No, it's not a sport. Oh, it's not a sport. I thought you said it's not a sport, nigga.
It's not. So.
Oh, but when it,
So, okay,
well, when
but
it favors
you're-
your
no,
fucking
but
argument,
You're paying attention to that.
nigga, I went to live wrestling. You went to see the Raptors lose.
Yeah.
All right. Which was better?
Which is more scripted.
Nigga, I showed you that footage, bro.
I know. But still.
Shut up.
I just think it's
It
funny.
was sick.
Yeah.
It was fucking
You
dope.
had way more
All
fun
right?
than I did.
All right. Even if you're not a fan of wrestling, I fucking dare you to spend $50 to go to a live wrestling show, a real one, not some rinky-dink fucking shit, because I can't guarantee the results there. But you go to an arena wrestling show, you spend $50, and you're sitting right there. Fucking pyrotechnics are going off. Girls, scantily clad girls, or fucking oiled up men, depending on what you're into, just fucking everywhere. You know what I mean? And then eventually they bring out a table and they bring out a ladder, and then one person goes on the table, and then a person goes off the ladder and then jumps off the ladder, fucking elbows the person through the table. Holy shit, holy shit, holy shit. And then another fucking, and then he gets a fucking big wooden stick with barbed wire wrapped around it. It's like a big 2x4, which just has barbed wire wrapped around it, and fucking just hits the guy over the head and he's bleeding, and everyone's chanting, "You sick fuck, you sick fuck, you sick fuck." And then if you're not into the bloody shit, there's other matches where it's just technical, and these guys from Japan show the fuck up. And you know how Japanese niggas do. They fucking go off the wall, nigga. And then the girls show up and they're like, "Bitch, I'm better than you." And the other girl's like, "Bitch, you ain't better than me." But they got their tits out and it's fucking fantastic, bro. And fireworks. And like just a mishmash of people. You got all races, all walks of life. You got adults, you got kids, everybody's just having fun. And yeah, so you tell me, bruh, what's the ultimate frisbee match look like?
What does that have
Yeah,
to do with
nigga.
What?
Yeah, nigga.
What?
Cause you like to fucking downplay wrestling, nigga, but you're an ultimate frisbee guy. So I show up to an ultimate frisbee match. What does that look like right now? Tell me.
It looks like
Boo!
yeah,
Boo this man!
can we play that footage right
I'm
now?
definitely gonna put that footage at the beginning of this shit.
An ultimate frisbee match is like going to like a football game almost, like because they're kind of similar.
They got the same crowd energy? People like chanting and
Not
shit?
at that level because football people are just
Be honest with me though.
worst.
What is the pro level of ultimate frisbee?
the AUDL.
Is This nigga busted out an acronym. All
That's
right.
what it's called.
All right. But, I'm just making sure that's a real organization when you can
Yeah.
say letters.
Yeah, that's like the NBA of.
Do they do arenas?
Yeah, they do like stadiums, like
What?
yeah, like they not full on like big stadiums, but like they go to York University, Toronto University.
That's not a stadium. You can't name anything in Canada as a stadium. Maybe the Sky Dome. Oh,
Okay.
sorry, I'm old.
Yeah,
Maybe
no,
the
it's
Rogers
the
Center.
Sky Dome.
It's the Sky Dome, bro. If you're from Canada, if you're
What
from
about
Toronto
the
area,
ACC?
that's not a stadium. That's an arena.
Okay, what? So
Those
what
are
is
arenas.
it? Okay, so what,
Stadiums are like 50,000, 40,000.
Okay. So like what was like the college like? It's just a field, I guess, like a big field.
Well, yeah, it's just a field.
Okay, they play on those.
Field niggas.
Wow, that's
That
racist.
sounded crazy. That sounded crazy. My apologies. I'm black and that felt fucking crazy. You've been watching shit, right?
Yeah, I have been watching stuff.
All right. I'm not really into it, but like try and sell me right now on this Shogun show. I tried, but maybe it's just because I didn't get past the first episode.
Look, you watched the whole first episode.
I did, yeah.
So even when they're in the boat and like the waves are like coming through and
What's the show about ultimately? What's the Shogun about? Because everybody's hyping it up and it looks visually amazing.
Yeah,
I can't front on
but
that.
it's actually like it's a really sick show. So basically, it's about the old school, I think 1600s Japan, a lot of samurai, shogun, like, and there's a lot of politicking. It's like Game of Thrones almost.
Shogun samurai is Japanese.
And so basically, this like English pirate, right? Because the English didn't know where Japan was, but the Portuguese did, and they're trying to like hide it from the rest of the world. But then these guys somehow got wind of it. So then they went on this like crazy journey trying to find Japan because it was just like legend. And like, so it starts off their cruise, like you saw, they're all like starving. They've been in the ocean, like half their crew died, and then they finally wash up in Japan. And then, basically this Englishman is like being used as a part in this internal Japanese war that's going on between the factions and stuff like that.
That's what it's most. So it's about like politics.
Yeah,
I'm out.
High level.
I'm out. You took samurais and you made it about politics. Go fuck
but
yourself.
That's what it always was.
No, that's not what Hollywood always was. Hollywood is about fucking action, bitch.
Yeah, there is actually.
Don't get.
I showed him the cannon.
Bro, you
scene.
showed me a scene.
The cannon scene.
All right, we're not gonna spoil it, but that scene was ass,
No,
bro.
it was cut up on YouTube, but the actual full-on scene, bro.
Fair enough. I didn't have context for the whole episode, but let me tell you about the Japanese show that I'm watching, nigga.
Go for it.
Salute Corey Holcomb. Like, damn, I gotta stop watching 5150 show.
watching it.
Yo, come we the guys. Shit. I've been watching. Is Shogun on HBO?
I watch it on Disney Plus.
Oh, so it's not an HBO show. Okay. This is an HBO show. It's called Tokyo Vice.
Mm-hmm.
It's modern day. Oh, well, not exactly. Well, it is modern day. It's loosely based off a real story. It follows the Yakuza and an American reporter who lives in Japan.
Okay.
Works for the newspaper out there, and he starts writing the crime beat or whatever, and he gets a little too involved. It's actually based on a real story. The guy's name is Jake Adelstein. You can look him up. He did TED Talks or whatever the fuck. This guy's a rat, nigga. Got like shit. But the more I did research on this guy, I'm like, why would the Yakuza have this guy around at all? It blew my mind. The show doesn't really do that great of a job of explaining that. It does a great job of depicting a lot of like what you would want out of it, like Yakuza action, the boss, the crime boss drama, the fucking inner faction wars. Then you got the police, and again, this is actually based on like a real period in the Yakuza's history where they went from the old ways to the corporate. You know, like when they modernized and became corporations and shit.
Yeah.
Fire show. It's in its second season. Second season's about to wrap up. Yeah, so I'm excited about that. But I think the one show that I can't believe, bro. Like, do you notice anything different about the set?
Yeah, I did notice. We got like 8 different DVDs on the set.
But they're all the same shit.
7.
Shout out to this bald Jew right here, Larry David.
Whoa.
What? He's a bald Jew.
Okay.
But, nigga, there's nothing wrong with saying what he actually is.
You can't-
Larry David is a bald Jew. and a fucking hilarious human being. Curb Your Enthusiasm is wrapping up its final season. It's 12 seasons, bro.
So there's supposed to be 12 of
There's
them?
7 here. This is when DVDs kind of like they
Died
stopped
off.
at 7,
Yeah.
and honestly, the show was kind of done there, and they took years off. And then Larry just like, Larry has so much pull in Hollywood that he's just like, I'm pretty sure they just had a revolving door. They said, whenever you want to come back and do it.
Yeah.
He always said he was interested in doing more, and then eventually they came back. I was like, this season can't be good. They took so much time off. Then eventually season 8, fucking great. Season 9, great. Season 10, great. 11, great. 11 was might be one of the weaker of the newer ones.
Okay.
So I was skeptical going into this new season, the final season.
Season 12.
Bruh. This shit is gangbusters, bro. If you're a comedy fan and you don't know what Curb Your Enthusiasm is, I highly suggest you go check that shit out. If you do know what it is, but you haven't watched it, especially if you're a Seinfeld fan, I don't even know how the fuck that works. Probably all the Seinfeld fans have seen Curb. Larry David is half responsible for Seinfeld, but I personally would say he's 80 to 90% responsible for the funny of Seinfeld. I know that sounds crazy, maybe. But if you understand the history of Seinfeld, if you understand the writing style, it wasn't like, because I hated Seinfeld when it first came out on television. Because it's the whole. Did you watch Seinfeld?
Nope.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. And it's past year, like you probably won't go back and watch that. If you like comedy sitcoms, it still holds up. I was too young when I first tried to watch it. It was all like adult situations and stuff, so I had no frame of reference.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got a little bit older. Even as just like a late teen, I started to really like catch on. I'm like, oh, this show's fucking hysterical. And then eventually it just became one of my favorite shows of all time. And then it went off the air. I never really was watching it as it was live on air. I watched reruns, and then eventually I just saw it like DVDs.
Mm-hmm.
And then it went off air and all that stuff. Then years later, Curb Your Enthusiasm started. The first season is meh, like it's okay. They're figuring it out. The second season, it's still serviceable.
Yeah.
Second season, they're starting
Still
to
serviceable. That's great.
like but like I don't know if you're a fan of Seinfeld, like you saw that first season out, but it wasn't what that show is known
What's
to
your
be.
favorite season?
Damn. I will say right now, season 7.
Okay.
And I will explain why in a moment. But like 3, 4, damn, like 6 is fucking gangbusters. Just looking at the shelf fills me with so much nostalgia. Yeah, 7 was just so well done, and it was mind blowing for me in terms of TV writing and production. And I'll explain why in a minute. But so as soon as Curb aired, is when I immediately realized that nothing of the show Seinfeld that I loved had anything to do with Seinfeld. Like even in terms of lining up my favorite characters, like do you know the characters like Kramer, George, Elaine,
I know Kramer.
Jerry?
He had a meltdown.
He's a nigger, Jerry.
I know Jerome.
Who the fuck is Jerome, nigga?
Jerome Seinfeld.
That's crazy. Who's Jerome?
That's his name.
Jerry.
His name's Jerome.
Is it really?
You didn't know this?
Don't. What?
You didn't know this?
His actual Jerry is short for Jerome.
Yeah.
Don't-
Jerome Seinfeld. I'm surprised you didn't know
No,
this.
I gotta look this up
This
real
is common
quick.
knowledge.
Jerome Seinfeld with a G or a no J,
J,
right?
yeah.
Jerome Seinfeld. Jerome Seinfeld. Jerry Seinfeld. Jerome Allen Seinfeld. That's the blackest motherfucker. Other than the Seinfeld nigga, you tell me Jerome Allen? Yo, these niggas. I don't want to go too far down this rabbit hole, but you can really see the Hebrew Israelite history in all of Jewish culture, bro. You're telling me. Anyways,
His name is Jerome.
what?
I know about him and Kramer.
All right, stop calling him Jerome.
That's his name!
It's fucking me up. Nobody calls Jerry Seinfeld Jerome. Jerome Seinfeld might be the name of this episode. Jerome Seinfeld. Can you write that down so I don't forget? That's fucking crazy. I'm gonna have nightmares about that shit. Jerome. Yeah, he was my least favorite character. Like Kramer. It went back and forth, but Kramer and George are easily the best characters on that show.
George
Costanza.
Okay, I know about that.
And George is actually loosely based off of Larry David. So
Larry David's not in the show.
Larry David's not in the show. Larry David is a creator of the show and a writer for the
Is
show.
he in Curb?
Yeah, he's the star of Curb.
Okay.
And the writer and everything.
Okay.
But in Seinfeld, he was mostly producer, writer.
Okay, got it.
He would act. He's all over the show,
Mm-hmm.
but he played like faceless roles. He played like a fucking hot dog cart vendor.
Yeah, he would
or
do like a cameo.
Or the most famous role is actually not a cameo. He played George Steinberg, who was the New York Yankees manager at the time. So, but they would always show him from the back, and he would, and actually looking back at it, knowing the Larry from Curb, he was just playing himself too. Like he was playing a heightened version of himself. It's so fucking hilarious. So the show Curb came out, and then I'm like, oh, all of the writing that I enjoyed from Seinfeld was Larry. All of the characters was Larry. My favorite like episodes and scenarios, my like the most memorable lines and all that shit was fucking Larry, bro. I like it immediately diminished what Jerry Seinfeld was to me because already I didn't like his stand up, but I gave him a lot of credit because I'm like, damn, bro, that show's iconic. But no, that show's not iconic. Larry David is iconic, and you could fight me in the comments if you fucking want to. I don't give a fuck, nigga. Seinfeld is boring. What's the deal with hairline peanuts? Shut up. Fucking garbage ass shit. Observational ass, like, bro, they're not even good observations. What? I'm not gonna start doing this. Anyways, Curb. The show takes a couple seasons to really pick up. This show is deeply integrated to me and my comedy career.
Okay.
This show is when I was in my car accident. This show was when I was bedridden. This is a show that made me realize, oh, I've always had a passion for comedy. Why don't it literally Curb? I should have brought the book off the bookshelf. I have the fucking Curb Your Enthusiasm book. So I was bedridden from a car accident. I'm just watching all comedy. I'm just studying comedy at this point, starting to have the realization. I'm like, well, this has been a part of my life, my entire life.
Mm-hmm.
And I've always been funny. Like, why don't I pursue this? I'm watching Curb, then I buy the book, and the book is what made me realize is like, oh, the show is all improvised. So Seinfeld was completely scripted, but Curb, so what they do is they have a complete season story arc. So there's a story arc that overlaps every episode, minor, and every episode has a brief like breakdown.
Yeah, like a summary.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And other than that, everything is improvised. And when that's what made me realize is like, damn, bro, like I started with improv before I did stand-up. I did improv for about 6 months. It's because Curb. So I get really into the show. This is when I bought the box sets, bro. I'm like, fuck this. I went on eBay. Bro, I'll never forget this. I went on eBay and I bought them all brand new. I got them and like 3 of the cases were fucking cracked in the inside. I got all that shit for half off, bro. I was so happy. I'm about to count. 7. I got the 7 box sets. I got the 7 box sets for like $50 brand new. Just some cracked plastic. The discs were fine.
Yeah.
And they've been a prized possession. I've sold so much of my DVD collection, but I've kept obviously the Chappelle Show, Boondocks, like Curb, the stuff that really is impactful and meaningful. But bruh, so getting to the 7th season, which was the original finale for Curb. Since you're not a Seinfeld fan, I'll explain. Seinfeld was a beloved show. The season finale or the series finale, like universally hated. Universally shat on. The premise is a really good premise. Essentially what happens is they found a clever way to write them off. They all go to jail. And then the show ends. But the problem is that the way they went about it was like a 2-parter. It was so popular as a show, they aired it in Times Square, like on the big fucking TV in Times Square. Yeah. Wow. So it was a 2-parter, but the problem is that they brought in all the fan favorite characters to do like these testimonies in court. Against the 4, and it felt like almost like like a best of highlight and not like a Seinfeld episode. Which if this is the series finale, like do the best, like write the best fucking shit you can and focus in on the characters. And that's what I think. My personal opinion. That's why I think most people fucking hated it because. Like it started off so great, the premise was so great, and the idea of the show ending because they went to jail. Fucking beautiful. And they could have done a reunion where they get out of jail, all this stuff, like, like years later. But again, they went off air and to a lot of and it just sat like that until Curb. And then Curb just started gaining all this momentum. And then eventually they got to the 7th season. And what Larry David did, this is where he cemented himself to me as one of the GOAT fucking writers he made the whole seventh. So remember how I told you there's a overarching story for the season. The complete seventh season of Curb Your Enthusiasm, because that show is actually grounded in reality. It's Larry David. He's not playing a character.
Okay.
And it's like all these actors that come in as themselves.
Okay.
You know what I mean? But they're still playing character, like a character version of themselves.
Yep.
But it's based in real life. They live in LA. They're going to work on their shows. They mention what shows. They go to NBC and have meetings with executives, all that shit. So they do, as season 7 for Curb, the entire season is essentially a reunion of Seinfeld. He writes the whole show as, hey, we should do the reunion episode of Seinfeld.
Okay.
But the whole season of Curb Your Enthusiasm is them doing the reunion episode of Seinfeld. So what you actually get by the end of season 7 of Curb is a full episode of Seinfeld, because they filmed it.
Oh, okay.
Because like I said, it's grounded in realism. So what they did was they got the whole crew together. They got all the old Seinfeld cast and crew together. They did they filmed it like they would film Curb. But really, it's like a behind the scenes. It felt like a behind the scenes of Seinfeld, the round tables. Yeah. They even went so far as to, in the storyline, like George, who's played by Jason Alexander, the actor, they have a falling out or whatever. And Larry's like, fuck it. Like the character George is based on me. I'll play George.
Okay.
So they do this whole scene where Larry, it's like a weird mind fuck, because now George was Larry anyways, but now Larry is playing George, who is Larry.
Yeah.
Ho! George is getting upset, and he's like doing all the George mannerisms, but that Jason Alexander did, which are still based off like it's. And they got the whole set, like they recreated the set and all that stuff, bro. They fucking, when they ended, I'm like, amazing. Like they made up for the Seinfeld finale. They ended this show beautifully.
Yeah.
And when they said that Curb is coming back, I'm like, ah. But it was Larry, so I'm like, okay, let's see this out, bro. It came back cleaner, like 4K. It definitely looks sharper, but the feel of the show is still there. And some of the cast has died. So like Funkhauser, who was Super Dave Osborne. I don't know if you know this guy. He was a comedic, he was a comedic personality. He was like a fake stuntman back in the 70s, 80s. Like, you know, not Rodney Dangerfield.
Evil Knievel.
Evil Knievel and shit like this. He was literally a spoof of Evil Knievel.
Okay.
There's a really fucking funny like Jimmy Kimmel ended up using him later on in his career, or like years after when he got popular on Curb. He would start doing Super Dave Osborne skits like they used to do back in the 70s. It's so fucking funny. He's like, there's this basketball one where he's like, I built this device to help me dunk. And it's like literally a hospital bed almost on a spring.
Oh, and then he goes.
So he lays on it, and then they fucking release it, and he just smashes into the fucking backboard, the glass backboard. Like just comedically, it plays out so funny. Yeah. So the show came back gangbusters, and I'm like, oh, now they're actually doing the. He said this is it. Season 12 we're wrapping up Curb, not coming back, and they're 7 episodes in. I just caught up. And they're going down that route again, but
which route?
The route of, so they haven't introduced any. Well, yes.
Oh shit.
So Larry is now, like the way they explained it in the first episode, he had to go to Atlanta for something, and I don't know if this is a real law or not. Can you look this up? If it's illegal to give people water who are standing in line, that can't be real. That has to be a fucking. But I could see it's America, so I could see some weird shit like that being a thing. Essentially. He went there during election time. They were having a by-election or something in Atlanta, and he gave one of the and he gave one of the characters who was standing in line a bottle of water. And apparently, in the show, they made it out that was illegal. And so he goes through this whole thing, and he becomes like this national sensation. And it looks like it's leading up to Larry going to jail. They haven't wrapped the season yet. It's still episode 7. But the way they're building it up, it looks like they're. Like he's making, like the way the 7th season of Curb made up for the clusterfuck that was the end of Seinfeld. Mm-hmm. It feels like he's again going back down the road of I'm gonna go to jail. Like I'm gonna do the same premise, but I'm gonna make up for it. And this season has been one of my favorites. Like it started off a little slow. Like the first episode, I'm like, I don't know if this is gonna make it. Second episode in, I was like in tears. Like Tears. Which states ban giving food and water to voters at polling places? Oh my God. So this is, oh no. Is this real? This is on Snopes.
Yeah, 2021.
Yeah, but if it's on Snopes, doesn't that mean it's not real?
I don't know. What is Snopes?
In March 2021, controversy surrounded Senate Bill 202, a bill in Georgia that would which is where Atlanta is, which would bar outside actors from giving food or water directly to voters waiting in line at polling places. Can you just scroll down, like where it says if this is true or not? It should say at the very bottom. Just scroll all the way down. Scroll up to a title. Like, is there a title before all these blurbs? Anyways, potentially this is real. Either way, there's precedent for. Now I see where they got the premise from. Mm-hmm. Whether it's real or not, like it's been talked about, which is crazy. Apparently, this bill 202, that's crazy. So, like, there's Larry's fucking genius. They find some actual real bullshit. That I love Curb, bro. I love Curb. It's one of my favorite comedy shows of all time. And probably I put it over Seinfeld now, 100%. Okay. Like, as much as I love the characters of Seinfeld, all of them, like, what Curb is as a complete package, and it shines the light on Larry, who, to me, is Seinfeld, which is hilarious. But, yeah, let's fucking get into the comedy recap of the week. We talked some comedy shows, like TV shows, but let's talk about the show that I just did. It's the beginning of the weekend, so I'm just starting up my shows. I will talk about this, though. I made a mistake, one that I haven't done since I was, like, not since I was new, but I haven't done this in a while. Kind of embarrassing. Double booked. I double booked a show, which normally if it was both in Toronto, not really an issue. I can make them both. You were with me one time when I had two shows at 8 o'clock in Toronto. Yeah. And we made them both. Yeah. Unfortunately, one show was in London, Ontario, and one show was in Toronto. So only made one. Salutes, shoutouts, and love and respect to Joe at the corner. I had to cancel the corner because I booked the other one I wrote it down wrong in my fucking calendar. And also, like, I found out when I got to the show, the promoter also kind of forgot. Like, he's got life stuff happening. Like, not bad life stuff, good life stuff, but like a lot of stuff that he's thinking about. And I could tell, I'm like, oh, you kind of forgot. He even straight up said, I kind of forgot about it. But what sucks, and this is the fucking lunacy of Canada, because right now outside it's like 5-6 degrees. Yesterday, driving to the show in a fucking blizzard, bro. Almost a blizzard. Like, it was springtime. Come on. It was the first day of spring. We literally had snow. Well, not even just snow, like almost blizzard conditions, snow. Yeah. My car, the last 2 days were covered in snow. Of course, going into London, which is the snow belt of Ontario, they get end of the world snow. By the time I got out there, nothing. I was grateful. But what did end up happening was it kind of fucked up the ticket sales of the show. Because during the sale time, it was snowing. Everyone said, I'm staying in. So we still had like about 30 people at the show. It was a good turnout for me. You hear me, like, you know my mentality, bro. Yeah. 3 is 30 is 300 is 3,000. And I had a great time. I love doing the London Rec Room. I love working with different nights. So I look forward to the next one. I am working with different nights. Once again, we're back at Barrie Rec Room. 4/20, April 20th. So be on the lookout for that. Yeah, there you go. Now you got it on camera. Yeah, the show is fun. But what happened was we had to do shotgun style.
What is that?
Shotgun style means each comic brings up the next comic.
Okay.
There was no host. We went through all the comics. I asked them, I'm like, okay, where do you guys want to go? Da, 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 da. Because I was the one talking to the producer and figuring out, I'm like, what's the lineup? The homie that I drove out with me, shout outs to Norm Alkinsell. Oh, he's actually right here on the wall. I drove out with Norm, and he was a replacement for someone that had to drop out of the show. So he already didn't really know what was going on. Then we get there, and then I'm like, what's the order? And there was no order. I'm like, who's the host? And there was no host. I'm like, okay, let's talk to the promoter. He's like, yo, sorry, man, I kind of, like, whatever. You guys just figure it out, do whatever. I don't give a fuck. So I went to the back, talked to the comics. I'm like, where do you guys want to go? And me and Norm are more established, like not even like in terms of known, but like just been doing it a little longer.
Yep.
So the other two comics, like, they just weren't as comfortable like closing the show because we had to fucking bounce. Like, they're closer to the area. Okay. We drove out like an hour and a half.
Yeah.
Norm even further.
Yeah.
But yeah, I ended up doing the opener and I gave Norm the close. Like, I'm like, he's like, I don't give a fuck. I'm like, all right, I'll just do the open. But because of that, I forgot, because there's no host. I just walked up on stage. I'm like, fuck. I literally said into the mic, I'm like, nigga, I'm taking an extra 5 minutes. I don't even give a fuck. I earned it. Like, because I have to set up the show.
You gotta warm up.
And I don't want to do host duties. I wanted to do my set. But it's me, nigga. Yeah. I just roll with the punches, and I made it work. And I brought up Nate Teixeira, salutes to him. Mike Mitchell, salutes to him. It was a fun show. And tonight we got Chop Cheese Comedy, so I look forward to recapping that one next week. And I did have a show. I was at the corner last Sunday. That was fire. But I think I mean, you guys know corner stories. This is the comedy recap for the week. It's a little light, but that's because I'm just starting up the weekend of shows. If I was in America, damn, bro, I really need to. Let's
go.
Just nudge me. Just start pushing. Just mention it a little more, please.
Let's go.
All right, perfect. But like not into the camera. Text me randomly. Just text me America.
Okay.
America. Yeah, America. The border is right there. We gotta drive across the border. I gotta do comedy in America. It's the only way. Yeah. All right. Yeah. I'm gonna sign up again. I'm gonna sign up for a couple of those. I don't even give a fuck, nigga. I just want to start doing mics in the States. So I'll even just, bro. My ego is dead, nigga.
Sign up.
So I'll go do mics. Like fuck it. I'll just sign up to go do
mics.
I'll just go, nigga. I will do that. Yeah. I will do that. Yeah, that's the comedy recap for this week. Let's talk a little bit of comedy news. There's not that much going on, but there was this article that caught traction. The OG, the legend, the man himself, Dave Chappelle, recently had this article going around that he had signed this deal. I think it was with ABC or CBS, one of these two. It might be ABC.
CBS.
It was CBS? Okay. Like one of the major American networks. Yeah, pull it up for me. That he was signing a $2 billion deal to host some sort of talk show or some whatever the fuck cornball shit TV's trying to cook up these days. The second that I heard this on another show. They were talking about it, but they were talking about it as if it was real. As soon as I heard 2 billion leave the dude's mouth, I was saying, shout outs to Dave Chappelle. He just got $2 billion. As soon as I heard the billion, I knew it was bullshit. I immediately looked it up. And turns out Dave Chappelle's $2 billion CBS deal is untrue, as story came from a satire page. So probably some fucking like The Onion or one of these websites created some story. Let's read this article, actually. Let's go through this article. This is hideous. Okay. Dave Chappelle does not have a $2 billion deal with CBS. Dave Chappelle is one of the most celebrated comedians of this generation. With this sketch comedy show, Chappelle's Show, he became one of the entertainment's biggest names. Chappelle helped put the whole Comedy Central network on the map. However, he turned down a $50 million contract extension and left the country for years. Around 2017, he returned. Recently, a rumor began circulating about him having a $2 billion contract with CBS for a new show. The news came from a satire page. Now, to be fair, this right here, which I have on set, these are my original box sets. The Chappelle Show, the show itself, and the box set separate. Like, all of what this show was is history making, is groundbreaking. People are still trying to copy the fucking swag of this show today. So, like, major love and props and salutes to the OG Dave Chappelle for this masterpiece. Like this, I still don't see 2 billion, but maybe I can understand why the number would be so astronomical or why people would believe it. Because when this came out, I still think these box sets hold the record for the highest selling box set of all time. The Chappelle Show box sets. The show, obviously, the revenue that it created, like you don't even need to hear me say it. Chappelle released that whole thing a couple of years ago where he put out, remember that?
Yeah.
The little
like
diatribe video? It was like, yeah. What was it called?
I thought it was like 500 mil or something.
Yeah, but he put out this little video where he was explaining like how he got bullied out of his money for the Chappelle show from Comedy Central.
It was a special type.
Yeah, it was when Netflix and Comedy Central were saying that we're gonna release Chappelle show on our platforms.
Yeah.
And then he said I called up Netflix and I told them that like they're fucking me and they took it off.
Yeah.
And then eventually Comedy Central even reached out to him and they negotiated a deal and apparently I think he got whatever he thinks is compensation for him. So I'm happy for that. But like for it to break all the records and make all the money it did, maybe I still think 2 billion is an astronomical number. It doesn't even make sense. But I could see if this were to be a thing, you would offer him hundreds of mil.
Yeah.
I could see hundreds of mil. Just given the track record and him already knowing what
he could have got exclusive rights in Saudi Arabia.
That's hilarious. That's fucking hilarious. The news came from a satire page. All right, I'll go back to the article real quick. Dave Chappelle remains one of the most popular comedians. His brash brand of comedy manages to withstand the test of time. Every time Dave gets a Netflix special, it's bound to do major streaming numbers. However, the same delivery is what has kept Chappelle from completely breaking through into the mainstream. But seeing what else is being allowed, even on broadcast television, there should be no issue bringing Dave into the mainstream. Scroll down for me, please. Dave Chappelle has been one of the most discussed topics today. Recently, there were reports of CBS reaching a $2 billion agreement with him to do a new show. Seeing how CBS's parent company was willing to sell BET and VH1 combined for $2.4 billion, these numbers didn't quite add up. Thank you. Also, the source where this information was shared is from a satire page. Going on the main page of that post, the first thing stated is that the page is satire only. So who the fuck picked this up? Man, the internet's dumb. Scroll down for me, please. Dave Chappelle does not have a $2 billion deal to post that. Scroll down. Oh, so that's it? No, fuck this. I don't care about fucking Ashley Larry right now. Yeah, no, that's it. All right, yeah.
This? Oh.
Yeah, who gives a fuck about that? You got caught up on some alien shit real cool. What is this? But yeah, yo, salutes to him if you were to get that deal. Yo, get your money. But yeah, that just hearing there's no way for TV, bro. A television network, does that even make sense?
No.
That shit is dying.
Yeah.
Like all of it's dying. You see what's happening with the music industry right now?
No.
Oh, bro, not even, well, I shouldn't even just say the music industry. Everybody is laying off. Every industry, the tech industry, every industry, but right now music is fucking. I'm pretty sure like Def Jam just sold. The fucking label just sold, and like Universal. So all these companies cutting whole divisions, whole departments.
Yeah.
People that have been there for fucking eons.
Yeah.
All the radio people gone.
Yep.
And if you kind of see the trends, like it's all going tech. Like the music industry. No. The tech people are the ones they need because it's all going AI. Same with Hollywood.
AI people. There are other tech jobs they don't need, which is why they're getting cut out.
Okay, fair. Yeah, to a certain extent. But the jobs are like a lot of legacy jobs. A lot of industry jobs that no longer, they're future proofing right now, which is what every major corporation is doing right now. It's consolidating, it's shrinking, it's getting rid of staff.
Yeah.
Because maybe,
why doesn't the government do that?
The writing is on the wall. Yo, the government, you think the government's not doing that?
They need to trim the fat.
The government is the fat that will never be trimmed, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But that's just part of life, bro. What the hell was I talking about?
All these companies.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. Music industry's fucking, I don't know, bro. It's all dying. It's all dying. And maybe the world is dying, and that's like it's the time, bro. Like if you know about globalization, this is really what the fuck the whole thing is all marching towards, yeah? Because if we're talking about one world everything, then do you really need a bunch of corporations running around doing the same thing?
No, you only need one.
You only need one. And all of them just need to be governed by one body. It's, it's conspiracy corner with Zeus. The world is fucked, and a bunch of weird, gross people are in the shadows trying to make it more fucked. Surprise! All right. Yeah, that's the comedy recap. That's the comedy news. We'll move on to a segment that we do here every week. If you are new to the podcast, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back, beautiful people. Remember, you too can be beautiful people. All you have to do is hit the subscribe. Come back next week. That's it. You're a beautiful person. But right now, you're looking kind of ugly. Every Monday on my Instagram social media feed, I post an interactive poll question and also on the community page on the YouTube channel. And we leave it up. People vote on it, and me and Dante discuss the results. This week's poll question was... what is your ideal afterlife? And the options were religious concept of heaven, merging with source/energy, reincarnation, or nothing/fade to black. And before we get to the results, Dante, how do you vote on this one?
This one's difficult for me.
Because the wording?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
It messes with my dyslexia.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Like, because I think... me personally, maybe it's not maybe it's autism, but like
this nigga's got everything under this. This nigga's on the spectrum.
No, but merging with source/energy and reincarnation are kind of the same to me.
Okay, but I think you're creating your own definition of reincarnation, which isn't a bad thing. I'm using reincarnation as most people typically look at it.
Which is
you die and come back in another body.
Yes.
Or a bug.
Yeah.
If you fucked up.
Yeah.
So you do view it that way.
Well, if energy doesn't die and you become source energy, anything that's made is a reincarnation.
I don't see it that way.
Because if you merge with source and everything is source, and you're a bug,
how are you reincarnated? If this is a meat suit, what's the reincarnation? If we're talking about source, if you're saying you're part of source, like you're just losing your meat suit, nothing else is happening.
Yeah, but then you get a new one.
So you'd want reincarnation.
Ideally,
you want to come back?
No, ideally, you merge with source.
That's not reincarnation.
I'm saying they're similar. Just in my mind, they're still kind of similar.
So then you'd want to come back, is what you're saying.
No, ideally.
You'd want another body.
No, ideally, you merge with source.
That's not reincarnation.
I know, but I'm saying the byproduct of that is that if you're a source, because source eventually does come back down regardless, right? Yes or no?
Source eventually comes back down regardless. I would wager that source never leaves. Like source is everything, right? God, source, whatever, the all.
So you're saying we're not here right now, then?
Here doesn't even exist, nigga. Okay. Like if we're actually gonna get esoteric about this shit, this is all. It was all a dream.
Yeah, I used to read Word Up magazine. Yeah, for me, ideally merge with source.
You just had to get that out. Yeah, like you just had to. You didn't even put no energy or nothing, but like that was like just a muscle memory thing. You just had to say the rest of it. Yeah, it was all a dream.
I used to read Word Up magazine.
Thank you. That's it. That's all.
No, ideally merge with source/energy.
It's weird. You just fucked my head up though, because like I don't know. I don't even know how you bring reincarnation into that. Because then if you're merging, you're literally losing your meat suit.
What?
Your meat suit, your body.
Okay. Yes.
You're a fucking child, bro. I don't even... Yo, meat suit is also a good candidate for the title of this episode.
All right.
Like yo, what? Well, we are. I mean, like we're both males. We got a hot dog costume on. But none of this shit is real, right? So like, what is reincarnation? Like what?
Well, that's also part of the thing, because you're right. Maybe I'm not using it.
Also, this is your ideal afterlife.
Yeah, ideal afterlife. You merge with source.
That's what, like, but are you saying that because have you thought about the ideal concept of religious heaven? You, all your loved ones in perfect paradise.
That's what source is, no?
Well, yeah, but the different concepts. Merging with source to me is like more energy vibrational thing. Yeah. You literally like you could say you merge with nothing and everything at the same time.
Yes.
But like I feel I think what the religious concept of heaven is like what they depicted in like Black Panther. It's
that's the astral realm.
that's the astral realm. But that's what I think most people view heaven as. Oh, we're in like they won't call it the astral realm. They'll call it heaven, but they see their family, a house for some reason.
You don't see your family back when we're all sourced together?
No, because I will be my family and I'll be all of it.
Yeah.
But I don't. But that's not like. I think people literally think that they will see bodies and shit. Like they will be in a. Because if you look biblically, heaven is an actual physical place.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, where?
The kingdom of heaven with all the gates and all the fucking da da da.
The kingdom of heaven was within you.
Well, that too, but like it's the afterlife. Heaven is actual place.
Okay.
So like I think how I interpret it is most people I think religiously view it as a place that you go to. You walk through the gates, like the pearly gates. Why would heaven need gates if it wasn't a place?
Why would heaven need gates if it wasn't a place? I don't know.
Because it's a place that you walk through the gates, and now the gates of heaven.
Yeah.
I'm in this. It's so funny, bro. Like, what you're telling me? Like, I don't know. It sounds like a nightclub, nigga. I'm like,
Yo, you got VIP in heaven.
you got VIP. All ladies get in free. Men too before 11.
So what's your ideal then?
It would be merging, because that's like to me. Because, like, again, what that means to me is it encompasses everything, bro. If I want to reincarnate after I merge, then it's like, I don't even, like, how do I explain this? I'm sticking with merging with source because that is my belief of what does happen. You go back, you just return back to source energy. But I think the ability, I think the concept of religious heaven came out of like old Kemetic and Egyptian.
Yeah, they're trying to explain
They're trying to explain it and give it a physical place and remove you from it. But I'm like, nigga, like we just discussed.
Yeah.
You become everything. So like, it's not that I need to manifest my entire family in front of me. It's that I am my entire family.
Yeah.
In front of me, above me, below me, within me. Like you just become source.
Yeah.
And like that also what I thought, this is a theory of mine, but I feel like all these space shows and like animes, like for me, Cowboy Bebop.
Yes.
What if, because we've never really explored space, like what if like when Star Wars depicts, like what if, because getting into the esoteric breakdown of existing here, right, is like whatever you want to believe, God was bored or whatever, fractaled itself up to have an infinite number of experiences, to have an infinite number of inputs,
Yes,
to continue to create. Like what if, at that point, like this is like a testing grounds, and then what space actually is like those like those shows, like you have a second like outside of this experience, everything's taking place up there, but this was like the testing ground. It's like, were you worthy enough to make it into the actual, like you have a place and like people, and you know what I mean, you're fucking flying around, just traveling around, because like if this whole experience of living and being a human being is God broken up into cajillion individuals, people, things, even this, you know what I mean? Like, however you want to, like, would that cease to, like, exist in some way? Because once you merge back with source, what do you do with all that input? You create with it.
Yeah.
That's what the old teachings are. That's what all the old Egyptian shit. You're having these experiences now to have experiences to draw from in the afterlife.
Yes.
So then what are you
drawing for?
Drawing for, not from, but for. Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. It's like, what are you drawing for?
Drawing for to draw.
So at that point, maybe you fractal up again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Which it would be reincarnation.
Maybe, yeah, maybe.
You just said fractal up again.
Yeah, maybe. But that's a theory of mine.
Yeah.
Because I can't comprehend what merging with source really is outside of merging with source.
Yeah.
But like,
it'd be everything and nothing.
It would be everything and nothing.
Alpha and omega.
So you would literally be able to create and then like play it all out.
Yes. You'd be able to see your whole family and be your whole family.
And be your whole family.
And your whole family would be you.
But then imagine like all the experiences that you've had.
Yeah.
So it's like, this is the version of you and your family that you remember. But what if you've been here before and like all of a sudden you make it back out after death, quote unquote.
Mhm.
And then it's like,
Well,
oh, yo, what's up? Mom, like all your moms,
Yeah.
and like all your dads,
Yeah.
all your siblings, all your cousins and shit. Like,
yeah.
all right.
That's how it would be. That's like,
yeah. But I don't see that as reincarnation.
but
Because to me, reincarnation involves coming back to this plane.
not any plane.
Not any plane, this
Can you
plane.
be reincarnated? Because I think you could be reincarnated in a different plane.
Potentially, yeah.
If it's possible.
Why not? Yeah.
Is that reincarnation?
Well, is that reincarnation or is that you not now having a new experience? Going to a different...
Well, if you
plane
get
of existence.
reincarnated, you're gonna have a new experience. If you come back as an ant, you're gonna have a different. You're not gonna have a human.
Fair enough.
experience
And you won't even...
as
Yeah.
an ant,
Fair enough.
and you wouldn't even know that you're a human.
Mm.
So what if, going back to your Star Wars analogy, what if someone dies on Earth and they're reborn on Hoth?
Good question.
Is that reincarnation? I mean, technically, but once again, you come down here with amnesia, so you don't really know. You
Mm.
forget.
True.
You fractaled out back into a Star Wars screenplay. That's where your consciousness goes.
Or maybe you just had such a good idea that you decided to come back as a human that could execute that idea and put it out into the public.
Yeah.
But then I think then you're wrapped up too much in humanity.
No, because you want people to also be able to come out. That's what
Yeah, but you can also, what's the whole concept of Akashic records and all this stuff? Jimi Hendrix saying he used to just pull songs out of the fucking air.
Yes.
I'm like, do you have to come back then to get your ideas out? Or can you just put ideas out into the ether and have somebody down here tap into that and you get your idea out? I mean, a lot of Hollywood is fucking occult for a reason. They're all, how many of these actors and actresses all say they're literally, they're channeling entities and beings and stuff when they act?
Yeah. But you know, that's what the Greeks used to do.
Of course.
They used to, when they would do a play, they would get everybody like mildly drunk, right? So like everyone would be watching this play, and then the actors, they would just channel, and then they would become like a channeled version of a specific god or whatever, a character, and then that's how they would act. But they'll just be turned.
And a lot of people saying like specific role. That's why you got to be careful taking specific roles. One being the
I
Joker.
was just thinking.
Yeah,
about
of
that.
course.
Yeah.
Like apparently, and I don't know if this is confirmed or not, but apparently Jack Nicholson warned Heath Ledger. He's like, yo, you're taking on this character.
Be careful.
The energy of this character, like where you'll have to go mentally to become and embody this character is such a dark place. And the nigga died. So Joaquin Phoenix played the Joker recently.
Yes.
That guy's a method actor too, so I wonder what the hell that was like for him, because the version of the Joker that he played is so fucking deranged.
Yeah, and he's a stand-up comic.
And no, he's not a stand-up
Yeah,
comic.
he was.
No, the character,
And
the Joker.
like,
He
character.
wasn't a stand. He tried comedy.
No,
He
but he was doing comedy.
have you ever seen the movie The Joker? Oh wait, was it no? The
Oh,
Comedian.
Joaquin Phoenix.
No. Have you ever seen the movie The Comedian?
No.
The Joker is literally, and it's
You know, so funny. Just going back to that part real quick. All the times his jokes weren't working, I was dying of laughter because of how bad it was. So like he is up there on stage like dying of all these jokes, but like everyone in the crowd's like, "Yo, what the hell is this?" And I was like, "Yo, like this shit's hilarious."
leave the timer up for me, please.
Oh yeah.
Like just put this half. You don't need a full screen. Yeah. So the movie The Joker was completely. Like almost, bro, some scenes are just completely recreated from a Martin Scorsese, Robert De Niro movie called The Comedian. Literally, Robert De Niro plays the Joker in this movie, The Comedian, but he's a comedian.
Yeah.
That scene where in the Joker, he's in the late night talk show interview, that's straight up a scene from The Comedian.
Robert De Niro's in that.
And Robert De Niro's, and he plays the fucking talk show host, which in his movie, he was the Joker essentially, but it wasn't the Joker. He was a fucking deranged comedian. Like Martin Scorsese, and like that's the same as Raging Bull, right? The same premise.
I haven't seen that either.
Or is it not Raging? Is it Taxi Driver or Raging Bull? It's one of the two. I think it's Taxi Driver actually.
Yeah, but back to channeling. You gotta be careful with that.
Y'all
stuff.
gotta be careful if you're gonna get into acting. Be careful. Anyways, back to the poll question once again before we get to the results. This week's poll question was: what is your ideal afterlife? And the options were religious concept of heaven, merging with source/energy, reincarnation, or nothing fade to black. And the results are perfect. Let that fucking nigga.
That's
You
a
better.
sign.
That's a sign.
The horn.
Yeah, I know. Someone, yeah, there we go. Get your goddamn. That's from outside the studio right now. I'm sure you guys heard that. But the results are 18% said religious concept of heaven, 64% said merging with source/energy, 18% said reincarnation, and nobody said nothing fade to black. Salutes to y'all. Which is so fun. Like, I put the word ideal there specifically.
Yeah.
Because like even atheists, I think, or people that say that you just go to fade to black, don't want that to be the case.
That's not their ideal.
That's not their ideal.
Yeah. Maybe a better question would be, what do you think happens? Regardless of if it's your ideal or not. Because obviously their ideal is like, we all just go to source and energy. That's the ideal for some people. I mean, some people would like to be reincarnated as an ant.
Not necessarily an ant. I'm sure they don't
Or a
want to be
rock.
reincarnated as that.
You'd be a rock.
Well, you're taking a chance depending on the life you live, I guess. And how much more information you need to.
Did you see Everything Everywhere All at Once? You watched that?
No, I couldn't stand that movie.
Well,
I tried to watch it.
so basically their consciousness goes through a whole bunch of different universes,
Yeah.
right? And one of them, they just become rocks with like googly eyes on them. But their consciousness is in the rock. And they're like, this is so peaceful. I'm just a rock. I'm not moving, not doing anything. I just am.
I just am, yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's also reincarnation.
Did they put eyes on the rock?
Yeah, like, you know those like googly eyes?
Nah, I'm happy I didn't watch that fucking movie.
No, but the whole point is because they have googly eyes throughout the thing. Like they put the googly eye like
Third eye?
third eye.
Ah, I see.
Yeah.
Interesting. Like, I love the concept and premise. I just think the execution and the story.
But you didn't watch it though.
I watched like 20, 30 minutes. I tried to watch it. I made it 20, 30 minutes in. And I'm like, fuck this movie.
Nah, you gotta watch it again.
Nah. I get the concept. I feel like I've watched that movie in multiple other.
So you're saying that movie was reincarnated in different.
I'm saying that movie is a
shows?
reincarnation of another.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which, let's be honest, nothing under the sun is new.
So ideas are also reincarnated. You're saying.
Up there, bro. Just pull the ideas down.
Pull them down.
Just pull them down.
Nothing's new under the sun.
Nothing under the sun is new, son.
Son.
Yeah, that's this week's poll question. Let's see the YouTube results. I think we got some votes on that one too.
Yeah, let me pull that up.
Yeah. But once again, if you want to get in on the poll questions, we are now going to actively post the poll question every Monday. Like we already post the actual question, but I mean the clips. So
This one got 25 votes.
yeah, like I'm telling you, it's starting to pick up. The YouTube, we're hitting some nice milestones and we're getting some nice traction. This last episode didn't do too great, which sucks because that episode was really good. If you're listening to this, go check out last week's episode. I'm really proud of that one, which I am of all of them. But like, I don't know when you
How do you
do,
see the results like.
just go to the community tab and click into the actual thing.
I did.
No, you didn't, because I know the problem you're having.
So I'm here.
Yeah.
Now what?
Click the little
This?
that. Nope. That. There you go.
Oh.
Yeah, I made the same mistake. So salutes to y'all. This is the most votes we've had on the community page.
Yeah.
Poll question. So this is fucking awesome. I'm very excited for that. Thank you. Love and respect. You are the beautiful people of this podcast. Even if you haven't subscribed just yet, but you voted on this poll, you're a beautiful person. What is your ideal afterlife? Damn, bruh. 48% said religious concept of heaven. 20% said merging with source. 16% said reincarnation, and 16% said nothing fade to black. Very interesting. Why? That's your ideal afterlife. Maybe they read it as, what do you think happens? Maybe.
Well, another thing that, because some people, there's that sense, people are
just fed
super
up.
nihilistic.
I'm just fed up. I'm just
Yeah,
done.
They're just done with everything.
I'm just done.
that would be sick for them because it's like if everything's done after they're gone, they don't have to deal with this shit no more.
But after you're gone from here, you're not dealing with this shit.
No, but that's their ideal.
You're just not dealing with anything.
Nothing. Fade to black.
That's wild. I wonder what happens to those souls. Because
Those
you're
are the ones that come back.
well, because you're essentially programmed. Well, so maybe that's actually where the reincarnation thing comes in. Because it's like, if you know that energy doesn't die,
Some
it
people
just
don't know
transfers. Fair enough. You know what? Fair enough. Not everybody knows that, but that's a scientific fact. So if you know that energy doesn't die, it just transfers, then what happens to your dead body? Or have you seen the scientific thing, like your body actually loses a certain amount of weight after you die, but they can't attest for it? Like immediately after you die, you lose
like a percentage.
and they're saying, is that the soul?
Yeah.
You know, does the soul have a weight? And it's literally like a pound, like half a pound or something. Like, you know what? Like it's
Half
just,
a pound?
well, I don't know. It's like a minuscule number. You know what I mean? Compared to a human's body weight
Yeah, but half a pound of soul. I remember there was this one video.
or something like this. I don't even know. Like I
a
might be
pound is a lot
misremembering
for
this,
a
or this
soul.
might even be from a show, and I might just
People
be.
carrying a lot of baggage, then they might have half a pound. But there's this one video.
Talking to the mic.
They're basically saying like, how much does the internet weigh? You know, like everything that's on the internet.
Yeah.
How much would that weigh? And basically, they said
Yeah,
if you were
looks
to
like a mic.
compile it all
There
into
you go.
one thing, it'd be like the weight of a strawberry. Like the average strawberries, how much the whole. And this was like a couple years ago before TikTok, so it's probably 2 strawberries now.
The fuck? What the fuck? All right.
I'm just saying, like, consciousness might have a weight to it, you know?
And it's a strawberry.
That's the internet.
That's the internet. Ah!
But that's what I'm saying. So, does a soul have more weight than the internet? Probably. I'd say so.
Is this like an actual scientific thing, or this might just be a show?
What?
I feel like this might be a show that I'm confusing for real life information. Look this up for me, Jamie.
What do you want me to look up? Is the internet way?
No. The internet. How much does the internet weigh?
Yeah, they said it was a strawberry. That's what
Oh,
I'm
sorry.
saying.
Okay, no, sorry. Yeah.
How
no.
much does a soul weigh?
Yeah. Does the soul weigh anything? Yes. How much does the soul weigh? Live science. Can you control plus for me? There we go. Legend has it that a person's soul weighs 21 grams. Is there any truth to it? Scroll down. An everlasting soul is a powerful concept. Perhaps that's why some have been dissatisfied with leaving matters of the soul to faith, instead turning to science in attempts to prove the soul exists. If you've heard that the soul weighs 21 grams or seen the 2003 film 21 grams, fuck. I never even watched that movie though, so I don't know. Alluding to this fact, then you've heard the results of one of these rather unusual experiments. So how much does the soul really weigh? Well, the bad news is that, of course, no one can say. Science can't prove that the soul exists.
What?
And scientists can't weigh it. But the bizarre story of one doctor's attempt to do just that is worth hanging around for. Weighing the soul. Okay. There was just one way to find out. McDougall reasoned since the substance considered in our hypothesis is linked organically with the body until death takes place, it appears to me more reasonable to think that it must be some form of gravitative matter, and therefore capable of being detected at death by weighing a human being in the act of death. He wrote in the scientific paper he would eventually publish in 1907 about his effort. McDougall teamed up with the Dorchester a charitable hospital. The great experiment. McDougall's first patient, a man died on April 10th. Get rid of that for me, please. A man died on April 10th, 1901, with a sudden drop in the scale of 0.75 ounces, 21.2 grams. And in that moment, the legend was born. It didn't matter much that McDougall's next patient lost 0.5 ounces, 14 grams, 15 minutes after he stopped breathing, or that the third case showed an inexplicable two-step loss of 0.5 ounces, a 0.5 ounce, and then 1 ounce, 28.3 grams, a minute later. That's enough of that, but that's very interesting.
How much of that is like the air that's in your body?
Yeah,
in
leaving
your lungs. In
True.
your intestines, because like when you die, you fart and
Yeah, you
know,
release
that
your
stuff.
bowels and shit.
that also weighs.
You release your bowels and shit.
Yeah.
I think we're gonna skip the last part of the show. Fuck that, yeah. Yeah. But we'll get to it eventually. We still have a lot of time.
Yeah, but if we keep skipping it.
All right, then let's try and aim for next week.
Yeah, for sure.
For next week, we'll do a preview of UFC and talk more about fighting. It's been a while. It's been a while since we talked about fighting. But I think that wraps up this episode. It's been a very good episode. I'm happy with it. Dante, you happy with it?
Yo.
Yurt. And I didn't smoke weed. Dante's been sober October for the last like fucking half a year. But yeah, Dante, any final words or?
No.
I like this desk so much.
Yeah.
I don't know why I ever did this show without a desk. Having a desk the first season had a desk, but it was like a radio studio. Like this is our own build studio, so built it how we need it, but I was like a booth. Yeah, different feel. This I could just like do this and shit. Like, just, you know what I mean? Where can the people find you?
You can find me online on Instagram at Dante, CheZDante. Follow your boy.
Brap. I'm AKA Black Zeus on all social media. It scrolls at the top and bottom, wherever the fuck, all over the episode. Follow your boy. that seeped into my subconscious. Follow your boy. No, just follow me if you want. You know, we post everywhere. And now the YouTube channel, we got videos literally Monday through like Friday.
Yeah, basically.
No, Sunday through Friday.
That's right.
Yeah.
Subscribe.
Yeah.
With
So
the bell, so you get to see all these videos we drop basically daily. We're like the 7-day Adventists. We take Saturdays off. It's aside from that we're recording today, but you know what I mean.
We record on Saturdays or Sundays, but you know what it is. But yeah, and my comedy special will be out on YouTube once we get to 1,000 subscribers. So if you've enjoyed any of this shit, hit it up, do the thing, leave a comment, whatever. Hit the like button. It helps with the algorithm. We're fighting Mr. Algorithm every day, but that's okay. I love y'all. Thank you for being here. This has been Black Zeus, the podcast, season 5, episode 9. We will be back next week for y'all. Until then, take care. Love y'all. Peace.
Hey yo, it's Black Zeus, the podcast, season 5. Welcome to the show where we talk about life, talk about the come up, and sometimes we fight. But in the end, it ain't a thing, cause we ain't trying to be right. We're just old new niggas with another podcast.
This is Black Zeus, the podcast, season 5.
I love y'all. Thank you for supporting. Once again, the Patreon is launched. If you do want to watch my comedy special right now, you can do so. It's only $10, and you can get it as part of the subscription fee. So, like, if you subscribe to the Patreon, you can get it that way, or you can just buy it outright for $10 that way. Once again, for transparency, I will release the comedy special for free on the YouTube once we hit 1,000 subscribers. So you can also just hit the subscriber button and just do that. You can support that way, whichever way you want to support. I'm on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, all that. I don't necessarily use it the way everybody else does, but I'm there if you want to find me. AKA Black Zeus is the person to find on those platforms.